In finding the volume of a cone, you'll notice that it sort of, in a way, it looks like a bit of a pyramid, but it's got a circular base. The formula for a cone is actually related to that of a pyramid. The formula for the volume of a cone is equal to the base area times by the height divided by 3. So that's the same as the volume of a pyramid. But in this case, because we have a cone, the base is pi r squared. So that's our base to get the base of the circle. Then we times that by the height, and then we divide it by 3. Same thing as our pyramid formula. You can also write that as the volume of a cone is equal to a third of pi r squared times by the height. So either way, you can use either of these formulas to get the volume of a cone. As stated before, you can use any formula you like to find the volume of the cone, whichever works best for you. Whether it is pi r squared times by the height divided by 3, or a third of pi r squared times by the height. Just be careful of your values, because sometimes some are not required for finding the volume of a cone. So looking for our important information, you can see that we have been given a height of 8.4 centimeters. That's pretty straightforward. But we've been given a 3.5 centimeter diameter. So we are going to need to halve that. So our radius is going to be equal to 3.5 divided by 2, which you might know off your head is equal to 1.75. So now we have our values that are required to find the volume of the cone. You can see in this case that we've got what we call the slant height here. And this slant height isn't actually required at all for this calculation. So it's just there to distract us a little bit. Anyway, let's go on and find the volume of the cone. Volume of the cone is equal to pi r squared h divided by 3. So it's going to be equal to pi 3.14 times by the radius, which we found was 1.75 squared, times by the height of 8.4, all divided by 3. This is certainly when you should be using a calculator. So 3.14 times by 1.75 times by 1.75 times by 8.4 gives us 80.7765, all divided by 3. It would be okay if you rounded this number off during calculations, completely up to you, but because I'm leaving it in my calculator, I've written it out just to show you what my calculator is showing. I'm now going to do that 80.7765 divided by 3, which is going to leave me with the answer of a volume of 26.9255 centimeters cubed. If I round that correct to 2 decimal places, which is more than enough, 26.93 centimeters cubed. To find the volume of this cone, it is a little more challenging. You'll see that you're given the radius this time, which is fine, but we're not actually given the height. We've been given the slant height. So the slant height is actually no good for us in trying to find the volume of a cone. If you're not given the height, you therefore need to work out the height. And what you need to start recognizing on a cone, that there's a relationship between the radius, 3 meters, the slant height, 7 meters, and the height. You can see that it's a right-angled triangle. So this is where you'll end up needing to use your Pythagoras formula to find the height. This is where questions get quite difficult. Pythagoras' formula states that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where c is equal to the hypotenuse, or the longest side, or the side opposite the right angle. So this could be A or B, the other two do not matter. So we need to do that to work out the height. So let's do it over here. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So in this case, A we do not have, so A squared. We do have B. Oh, sorry. We do have B, which is 3 squared. And that's going to be equal to C squared, 7 squared. So A squared plus 3 squared is 9 is going to be equal to 49. So therefore, by solving this equation, we want to get A on its own. So if we take away 9 from both sides, we'll keep the equation equal. Therefore, A squared is going to be equal to, 9 take 9 is 0, cancels out. 49 take away 9 is 40. To then get A on its own, we need to do the square root of both terms. So A is going to be equal to the square root of 40. So put that onto your calculator. The square root of 40 is equal to, round it off to 2 decimal places is fine, 6.32. So the height is therefore going to be equal to 6.32 meters. Now we can go and plug that into our volume formula. Okay, so let's do it up the top here. So 3.14 is pi times by the radius, which is 3 squared, times by the height, which is equal to 6.32, all divided by 3. So yet again, I'll go to my calculator. 3.14 times by 3 times by 3 times by 6.32 is equal to 178.6032. Yet again, you could round that off, but I'm just showing you to show you what's on my calculator screen. I'll straight away divide that by 3, which is equal to 59.53 meters cubed. The actual answer was 59.5344, but I've rounded that off correct to 2 decimal places. So yet again, thing to be mindful of is make sure you have the correct value for the height. If you have the slant height, you may need to find the height. Press or click now on the screen for some questions relating to the volume of cones.